Hi there, ladies and gentlemen, this is Eastwood for Life and back with another Westerns for Life video. And it's been a few months since I last put any Western content on the channel, but we'll start putting a whole lot more within the next couple of weeks. But in this video we will be looking at this Sergio Leone book named All About Sergio Leone. Now, there is quite a few Sergio Leone books out there, but for me this is one of the better, more recent releases into the work of Italian director Sergio Leone. Now, it was released in March 2019, and actually April 2019 it would have marked the 90th year into the birth of Sergio Leone, so that is the reason why this book came out. Now, I picked this book up on Amazon.co.uk, just under 21 UK pounds, which would have worked out to be under $30 and around about the 24 euro mark. Great book, reasonably priced it is, beautifully illustrated, 224 pages with over 700 photos inside this book. So this is the front cover. You have some actors and actresses who starred in some of the great Sergio Leone movies on the cover here, and we'll have a look at the back. And this is the back of the book, where you get a few lines from some of his movies that were said. So we'll have a look at this book and give it a brief look and see what's inside. So we go into this book. You get a photo here of Clint Eastwood from the movie A Fistful of Dollars, made in 1964. The movie that really put Sergio Leone noticed, a box office success in Europe first before it went to America a few years later. And there is a picture of the Italian director, one of the great directors, Sergio Leone, who actually died in 1989 at the young age of 60 years old of a heart attack, which is a shame because career-wise he only made 7 movies. Would have loved to have seen him to have directed more movies, but the movies he did direct did leave a mark in cinema history. So here are the contents of the book. You get the introductions, Part 1, Life and Films. Part 2, Words. And Part 3, Materials. Some of the chapters there. Introductions. And you get some few pictures here of the opening credits of A Fistful of Dollars, which is kind of like the shadows, the silhouettes into the opening scenes of the movie. The score, which was supplied by Ennio Morricone at the start of the movie, and Ennio Morricone was used in a lot of Sergio Leone's movies. The man who corrupted the Western. Now, Sergio Leone, he was a fan of American cinema, strongly influenced by the John Ford Westerns, and then he would make his own style of Westerns, more European style, with a lot more extreme screen violence in his movies. From the American West, picture here of Robert De Niro in Once Upon a Time in America. Part 1, Life and Films. A biography section, Leone's life story. Grew up as a fan of American cinema. Sergio Leone's films. Before the West, The Last Days of Pompeii, which actually he was involved in making that film, a sword and sandal movie, and it wasn't until 1961 that he made his first movie, The Colossus of Rhodes. Now, the sword and sandal movies were a genre of movies that were very popular in Europe in the 50s, but by the early 60s it was kind of the genre was kind of finished. Photos from The Colossus of Rhodes. Then on to the Dollar Trilogy movies, where he made 3 spaghetti westerns with Clint Eastwood, who was The Stranger, A Fistful of Dollars in 1964, followed up with 2 sequels for a few dollars more, and The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. And you get a photo here of 3 of the finale shootout scenes from those movies. Fistful of Dollars, a write-up. Eastwood in the movie, a young unknown American actor who went to Europe to make this western, and in this movie you do get Gian Maria Volonté, a huge box office success, where then Sergio Leone he made for a few dollars more in 1965, this time with Lee Van Cleef and also Gian Maria Volonté. He plays another villain, and Eastwood returns as the Stranger. Great photos from this classic western. Then the last movie in the Dollar Trilogy, The Good, the Bad and the Ugly in 1966. Clint Eastwood, Lee Van Cleef and Eli Wallach. And then you get some cool photos of the shootout from Sad Hill Cemetery, where they are battling for the fortune. And then Leone, he started a new trilogy, the Time Trilogy, which marked 3 times in American history. The first movie being Once Upon a Time in the West, made in 1968. Another spaghetti western starring Claudia Cardinale, Henry Fonda, Charles Bronson and Jason Robards, with a beautiful score again with Ennio Morricone. And Henry Fonda, he played the villain in this one, which was a big surprise to many. You get a shot from the shootout in the end of the movie. Then 3 years later, he made another spaghetti western, Duck You Sucker, aka A Fistful of Dynamite. Once Upon a Time in the Revolution also. And this one stars Rod Steiger and James Coburn. A spaghetti western, more about the Mexican Revolution. And then Leone didn't make another movie in the 70s. He did direct a few scenes in 2 spaghetti western movies where he helped a director. The first one being My Name is Nobody in 1973, directed by Tonino Valieri, Henry Fonda and Terence Hill. Kind of more of a spaghetti western comedy, but there were a couple of scenes that he directed. And then he also done a scene in a movie in 1975, A Genius, Two Partners and a Dupe, which Sergio Leone, he doesn't like to be known for being involved in. And then he returned in 1984 with Once Upon a Time in America, gangster movie starring Robert De Niro and James Woods. Also a young Jennifer Connelly. So that is the movies from the career of Sergio Leone. So for the rest of the book, we'll just briefly breeze through. Many photos. And for me, he is one of my favourite directors. Always like the steady build up in his movies. Always used a lot of face shots in his movies. And always used widescreen photography with great soundtrack scores with Ennio Morricone, with plenty of extreme violence. He wasn't afraid to hold back in certain scenes. He did have a few other movies that were in the pipeline. There was supposed to be another Western with Richard Gere and a Mickey Rourke, but that was just talk. And also there was a Russian a war movie he was thinking about making, Leningrad, the 900 Days, a war epic. And rumoured that he wanted $100 million budget, and they was only going to get 50 million. But guys, if you are a fan of Sergio Leone, then this book would be one that is worthy of adding to your collection. Guys, do let us know your favourite Sergio Leone movie, and if you have picked up this book, which is still being sold, it's not out of print at the moment. So yeah, a great Sergio Leone book. So guys, there you have it, a little small video of this Sergio Leone book, which I think is a very highly recommended book to purchase. So guys, till the next video, stay healthy and well, and as always with Westerns, keep it Westerns for life. Take care.